Thanks, John. Good afternoon, everybody. I have to disagree with John on the Thunder Park. I literally just got here this morning. I was working on a project in LA this week, so I'm a little bit tired, but happy to be here because what we're going to talk about is really exciting for Cedar Point. I know most of you are here because first you love the park, but you're big roller coaster fans. But we're going to talk a little bit about a new show that we're doing this year. Last summer, when Matt got here, our new CEO, and he was walking around the park and literally came back one day and had been out the night before and said, you know, it's a great park, but we need to light this park up. We need to make it exciting at night. And I think most of us were a little surprised he said that because we always felt, gee, this is a pretty exciting place at night. You know, the rides, the lights, all of that, so what more do we need to do? And he said, no, we really need to light it up and we really need to have more fun. We need to have some great music and a big party. So that was the start of everything. And we spent a lot of time talking about what his vision was and, of course, you know, his background and what he had seen in other places. And so from that, we developed this new party light show, a combination of a lot of different things that we're going to do every night at Cedar Point. It's going to start the beginning of June. We have a start date yet, John? June 2nd. So, but it's going to be spectacular. Just to give you a little bit of an idea, you've seen, a few of you have probably seen our shows we do at night. This new show that we're putting on is going to run about $6 million. So it is a significant capital increase or investment for us compared to what we've done in the past. So we're calling it Luminosity, expanding on the success of our nighttime walk-through light show experiences. But I don't even think you should even compare. I look at Luminosity in your terms as the millennium force of nighttime light shows. So what we want to do is transform the way our guests leave the park. Instead of a dark experience, we want to just really dazzle everyone in the lights. Instead of being just a quick, you know, run to your car, get out of here as fast as you can. Let people linger and stay and have fun. Make it a place you want to stay at night. Instead of a quiet experience, we are going to energize the evening with music, dance music. I mean, this is going to be very upbeat. Most of it's going to be very, very contemporary. And instead of leaving tired, we want you to leave excited, happy, and just thrilled that you were here for the entire day. So, Luminosity is the name of the show, but really what we're doing goes way beyond Luminosity. And we're going to do, it's really three things we're going to do. We are going to light up 3 of our rides. And if you all saw Windseeker and how we lit that up with the LED, think of these new rides as a package like that, even more so. So Millennium Force, Power Tower, Giant Wheel. I mean, we're going to just light those up and they're going to be spectacular. And then from on the main midway, from the entrance gate all the way back to Corkscrew, we're going to just light that up with a million lights, all LED, elbows, you name it, it's going to be spectacular. And there's going to be a whole new sound system throughout all this too. And then we are going to have our show on the Iron Dragon midway, which is really now we're going to call it Celebration Plaza. And that's going to be our Luminosity show. So I think you can kind of see the blue oval, that's the main midway, that's what we're going to light up. The red oval is where the Luminosity show is, and then of course the 3 rides that we're going to light up. That's how the plaza looks now, and it's fairly big, and this is how it's going to look going forward. This is the stage, so you can see the scope of how big the stage is going to be compared to the area now. Then there's going to be some auxiliary areas where we can have performers. We're going to change the boundaries of the whole plaza so it's much more curved. And so in the daytime, it also becomes a place where you're relaxing or you can hang out and it has more of a plaza feel. And One thing I just want to say now is Matt really is interested in feedback on everything we do. So we're not going to have tests at the end, but I really do want to get your feedback on what your thoughts are on this concept, because it's really important to him and to all of us that we hear what you think. This is a big change for us. It's a new direction, so we do want to get your feedback. We're going to have all kinds of different lighting elements, even in the concrete. So not only just the show lighting elements that you'll see examples of here in a minute, but we'll have lights built into the concrete. Go ahead. Little plaza areas. We've got some umbrellas that we're going to bring in, which is kind of small in the scope of things, but all little touches to really add to the plaza feel. You can skip this. And again, we're talking about the lighting goals, just to add to the experience, make it more exciting, really bring out the architectural elements in some of our buildings, like in the Coliseum, which you'll see in a second. Unify the main midway into one giant experience, and then we're going to have one control system to control the lighting. So the main midway, we're going to have images of everything from the ground through the buildings and on up. We're going to have gobos on the ground so the kids can kind of dance to the music, all kinds of things. Go ahead, Brian. This is just an example of the Coliseum, how we're going to light the elements of the building up. It's hard for any of this to do justice to what we're doing, but I think you're going to be very impressed. Go ahead. This is an example of the Snoopy Boutique. We're going to have new columns that will have speaker systems in them and lighting systems in it. Go ahead. Some gobo patterns and how they'll look on the main midway. And these move as they move to the music. And now onto the stage show. So we're going to take this big, square, empty midway space and create a one-of-a-kind nighttime experience that we want families to enjoy together. It's a big goal for us is to find an experience that everybody can enjoy together. So this is kind of the shape of the main stage. It's a little hard to see here. But this, now you start to see how we want to light this up. And if you've ever been to a concert, or if you've watched, VMAs or the Grammys or everything, you can see what they can do with lights now. This is kind of the look we're going for. The music. Music's going to be different. And it's going to be a lot different than what you're hearing at Cedar Point. We want a really driving sound. And I'm going to play some examples here in a minute of some of the songs we're going to be using. We want songs that everybody can enjoy, but are contemporary. So you'll go ahead and go back if you can. We'll bring in a few older songs, but we're going to remix them similar to what they do on Glee. And again, these are songs that the people know. We did go out on Facebook a couple weeks ago and asked our fans if you were to see, or if you were to have a big party at Cedar Point, what kind of music would you like to hear? And we got hundreds of responses, and we've incorporated a lot of those songs into the show. So it's not just about the music and the lights. We're going to have dancers, drummers, cirque performers, and DJs. And singers. So all the music will be live to a recorded track. We'll start with an interactive pre-show. And again, this will help give you a little bit of the scale of the stage and the size of everything. And we'll do a lot with lights in here and try to get the guests involved. Plus, all day during the day, every day, we're going to have some of the performers out going around the park, kind of teasing the show and doing some little dance routines and things that you'll see later in the show. We're going to have a big countdown to the opening. Think Times Square, countdown, lights, that type of thing. We'll bring in some elements and just really, again, make the show start with an explosion of light and music. The show is going to have several segments, and again, it gives us a little background to bring things together. One segment's called Land Travel, and we're going to focus on just trying to do a lot of imagery where people where what you see is if you're traveling across the country or any type of other travel, starting with some performer coming out on a Harley Davidson. Then we go into the sea travel. Music will be appropriate for this section. And again, the visuals, the light, all the effects will, again, complement the sea travel theme. Space travel, that'll be the next section, and then we'll end with a grand finale. So the finale is really, it's just a finale for the show portion of Luminosity. We'll have fireworks, and then we'll immediately go into our street party with a DJ who will be able to play, songs. We'll ask guests for suggestions, all that type of thing. So again, a lot of elements going on at the same time. So Bryony, if you want to play a little bit of the music. So far, does anybody have any comments or questions about what you've seen? It's hard to really describe it until you see it. Go ahead, sir.
What time is it going to start?
It's probably going to start. We're playing a little bit about that with that right now. In June, of course, it's light out here.
No, time it, like when the show starts, they're every day.
Oh.
Yeah.
Time of day, yeah. What I was saying is in June it stays light out later, so we've got to kind of work around that, but it'll probably start around 9 o'clock, maybe even 8:30, and then go from there. So it's going to be about a 40-minute show, but after the show will be the fireworks, and then after the fireworks will be the DJ portion. We're just going to play a few seconds from some of the songs. Our apologies on the sound system here. We're a little. That's Pink. So raise your glass. But we've got a lot of other songs. There's probably going to be 20 songs. We're going to have some older music in there, as I mentioned, with a little bit of a more modern remix to it. So, yes, sir.
This will affect Iron Dragon or Wildcat?
John, maybe John can answer that best. I don't think it's.
Iron Dragon, of course, I wrote that portion.
Yeah. If you didn't hear John, he said Iron Dragon Wildcat will close during a portion of the show because of the pyro. So, yes.
Are you going to be able to see the lagoon from Midway anymore?
See the what?
The lagoon?
The lagoon from the Midway.
I believe so.
Yeah. In fact, the giant, actually, we're taking down the big screen, so really it's going to open up the view to Millennium Force, and with those new lights, it's going to be really nice.
Oh, well, I noticed you got quite a bit of screening for the stage.
Yeah, I think the stage is, the screen behind is about 20 feet high, maybe. Yeah.
You said you wasn't going to take down the screen, and a lot of people will come and bring their kind of place where, like, guys,
Well, I think we'll make that suggestion to John. He's got a few months to work that out.
Well, we have TVs and so.
Yankee Grill.
We have to use the screens for a lot of different things during the day.
Yes, in the back.
I know that a few years ago, I know that the focus on this is the Iron Dragon Midway and the main Midway, but a few years ago, when Max Air was put up, that whole section down through there was also redone with new lighting, and it's it seems to be a lot like what you're planning for the main Midway. Is that going to be tied in as part of this?
The section by Max
giant
Air?
wheel down at the focus of it?
Giant
Part of
wheel.
the games buildings will be.
Yeah, part of the games buildings will receive some of the new light treatment, so it's going to be spectacular, the lighting. Yes?
Curious if you're concerned that there might be a choke point that would form there?
We're making sure there's access, that if you don't want to be in that area or stay in that area to watch the show and you just want to pass through that area, we're going to make sure there are ways to do that, that there'll always be a way to walk through there, like if you're coming from Frontier Town and wanting to go out of the park. So we'll keep pathways open. Yes?
I think it sounds awesome. I'm excited about it. But crowd control, has that kind of been addressed? As an educator, sometimes when the high school kids get all together, they start doing
Sure.
things. When I have a small child and stuff.
We're keeping this family friendly. We have a general idea of how many people we can hold in that area. And if you're familiar with the shows we've had there over the years, sometimes that area does fill up with several thousand people, and we anticipate it to be similar. So from that standpoint, we don't really see it being a crowd issue, but we watch everything. So.
keep the illumination and Frontier.
Yes, that'll stay. That'll stay. Frontier Trail.
Will that area, or will that stage be open for live performances or anything?
Yes, you know, this is the beauty of having this stage. One of the things, the challenges we've always had at Cedar Point is if we wanted to bring in some type of performance or live acts or do more with other groups that want to perform, we really never had a big open venue like this. So this stage will give us that opportunity to do a lot of things. Same with the DJs, you know, if we want to have guest DJs or any type of guest appearances, the show's going to be flexible enough that we can do that. But we'd love to start to develop a way to use the stage more during the day. And I think we're having one of our Peanuts shows on that stage during the day this summer. But it does lend itself to a lot of possibilities going forward. Other questions? Yes?
Going along with that, during Halloween weekends, that'll be used?
Yeah, well, our goal is to use it during Halloween weekends, and what we'd like to do is develop another version of the show just for Halloween weekends, but right now that's, you know, still to be determined.
Will you be using lasers?
Yes.
Will your shows always be G-rated?
Yes. Yes. Sure. Yes. If any of the music nowadays, if you listen to any of the new music, yeah, there's a lot in the lyrics. We would change anything that we felt was inappropriate. Other questions?
We haven't specifically located it yet.
Other questions? Other questions? So overall, I need to give Matt a little feedback. So if you, let's see, How many people, just raise your hand, think this is a good idea for Cedar Point? Great.
Honestly, this show is getting very boring.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah. This is time. It's time for change. I think it's an exciting new direction. We're very excited about it. To be able to do something of this scale, this caliber, it's going to be spectacular. You know, we've got a great park, we have a wonderful background, and now we're going to really, really kind of kick it out of the ballpark with this show. So anyway, any other questions before I turn back to Brian? All right.
Again, like Lee said, it's going to be a very exciting show. We're geeked about it. Again, thoughts on the music? Again, I told you guys a couple times out on the Midway, it's not your traditional Cedar Point music you're going to be hearing in the show, but it will stay family friendly. Again, we're a family park. As you saw for a brief second, I got 3 little ones. They'll be able to go to the show. Teenagers will be able to go to the show. It's really for all ages. So we're very excited about it. Now.